Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. They mean the world to me. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It may just not be your reading. You're not doing anything wrong. Nothing's broken. For those of you that follow or hear me talking about cards that aren't in this particular video, I'm referring back to the sun underpinning reading that populates in the lower left-hand corner of this video. At the end of this video, you can check that out. That is another layer of energy that's underpinning the week, so be aware of that. If you're new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily forecasts. In there is some housekeeping rules I want you to think about, what decks I'm using, how to contact me on social media or follow me. If you want a private reading, you would need to contact my Facebook business page or message me at Instagram. Know that I will never reach out to you to sell you a reading. And then there's also easy ways to support the channel. You can do that by hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, leaving me a question or comment, or sharing the video out. I appreciate all of that stuff. The other thing I was going to say is that this video is originally created for Thursday, the 16th of March. It's not solely set for that date. I believe readings can find you when you need them, and they can be timeless. So if you're watching this on a different date, if it's shown up in your feed and it makes sense to your situation, by all means, it's time for you to have this reading. Utilize it to the best of your ability. And, always use your highest intuition when utilizing any of my readings. All right, let's see what the cards want us to know today. And away we go. Okay, so our card for the day is the Queen of Voices. We have seen her before. She is the Queen of Swords. I always say this about the Queen of Swords. She is the air element, right? She's how we communicate. She is how we think, the thoughts that we think. The mind, she rules the realm of the mind. She is going to appreciate logic over emotion, yet she is a queen, so she's still connected to her emotions. There will be, compassionate thought taking place, but, if logic wins out over compassion, it's going to be logic that is going to lead us. The Queen of Swords, I oftentimes think her and the King are the ones that are most likely to make cuts in situations, to cut away the riffraff or the drama, the stuff that doesn't make sense, the stuff that doesn't serve us. They may sometimes seem a little bit heartless or blunt, but they are intelligent, they're aware, they're smart, right? So we should be using that, right? With this particular queen, the reason why I love her, she's surrounded by these crows, and I always say this about crows. Crows represent law. They understand not only physical law, but spiritual law and the crossover between the two. So this queen is kind of utilizing her intuition and her sense of logic and rightness to make decisions in her life. She is empowered. She's an authority. She knows what she needs. She knows what she wants. And she knows what's logically correct and right for her. So I feel like some of the cards leading up to this have been about making a decision. I feel like she is here to very much clarify that decision for us and act on that decision. That action may be about cutting things away or making statements, communicating truths that are true for her, both not only intellectually, but also emotionally. And she's going to serve herself over anyone else. She can sometimes be seen as cold-hearted, but she's not. She's just honest, right? She's telling her truth. And there's been some truths with the Eight of Cups showing up. We also have the Eight of Cups underpinning at the end of this week. So there's some truths that we need to take action on. And this queen is going to be making decisions and communicating that action today from a very clear, empowered place, is my feeling. We're not going to allow other people's needs or requirements or expectations of us to get in the way of that. The queen is the queen, right? She knows who she is, what she wants, what she deserves, and what action to take on it. She's thought it through. She's able to communicate it clearly and precisely. She may not be popular in her decisions, but she is using her own personal sense of intelligence, communication, clear communication at that, to obtain whatever it is that she needs, right? I also love in this particular design of the card how she has that white wing surrounding her. There's like a white truth of purity, almost an angelic purity or an awareness spiritually that she has, that she's using to protect herself or to make her decisions by. So keep that in mind today. If we find ourselves making a big decision or communicating something important, we will do so with clarity. We should do so with directness. We should do so with a slight amount of compassion, obviously, because she is the queen, but we're not going to allow our feelings to override the truth of a situation or the reality of what it is that we know to be true for ourselves. Does that make sense? I hope that does make sense to you. If it does, please leave me a comment. Let's go to the miracles now. To truly flourish is to release all the tension that holds me back from letting love pour through me. So I think that what this means is that this queen is going to flourish. All queens want to flourish, right? We all want what we want. We all know our truth. We all understand that, right? And then the release to me in this statement is the cutting away or the directness that comes with this queen, right? So to truly flourish is to release all the tension that holds me back. If there's something that's not right in our world, someone's behavior, a situation, actions that we see that are not in alignment with like the law that we know to be true, we are going to like release it through our own communication, our own thought, and it's not going to hold us back from letting love pour through us. And that to me is the love is the cups aspect of the queen suit, right? Or the queen court card. There's still love and compassion here, even though we might be having to tell somebody something that they don't want to hear. But we can do so from a place of love, right? We can do so from a place of compassion or kindness. But we have to do so from a place of truth, honesty, clarity that serves not only us, maybe. I mean, it's always going to serve the queen, but it will serve the greater whole. And it's connected with all of these crows to me. I feel like this truth is connected to the greater truth of the law that the crows represent, both spiritually and physically, right? Crow has that energy to transfer through the 3D world into the 5D and understands both sides of things, right? So we want ourselves to flourish first and foremost, being the queen. Oh, sorry, it's time to get up. We want ourselves to flourish being the queen, but we also want the situation, the relationship, the person, wherever we see something that isn't in alignment with what we know to be our truth, to also flourish. But to do that, we have to maybe speak our truth, stand up for ourselves, stand in the truth of our purity, and not allow that to hold us back. We can do that from a place of love, though, and allow that to come through us as we deliver that truth. Remember, the grounding stone for this week is focus. And this Queen of Swords is going to be very much about that focus. Underpinning this, because we're still sort of in the midweek, is the Eight of Pentacles, which is a very grounded, very attention-based energy. It's our own individual ability to work, see a certain situation a certain way, or see a certain truth a certain way that we need to maybe act on or make decisions from, that should stay grounded and should help this queen to be able to deliver whatever information or make whatever decisions she needs to make in her life clearly, precisely, and from her very individualized perspective, but it is pushing her forward, right? It is the work that she needs to do. It is her own special way of seeing things or communicating things that assists her in creating more in her life. It may at times feel tedious because the Eight of Pentacles can be about attention to detail. There might be a detail or a truth somewhere in a situation that only we as the queen see or understand, that others don't, that we may have to communicate or share. And as I said earlier, sometimes this queen is not the popular opinion, but we have to stand in that truth to truly flourish. And in standing in that truth, sometimes that helps to release the tension that stops us from moving forward, or a situation, relationship from moving forward, but we can really release that from a place of love, right? Let's look at the clarifiers. We have the Queen of Cups. So there is that love that is pouring through you. She's definitely intuition. She is also a queen, so we have more of that sort of authoritative, empowered feminine energy going on here. She would represent, really thinking things through from the heart space or from our intuition, but it's going to be delivered through this Queen of Swords. So it's going to be delivered from a place of directness, truth, and honesty. It still is. I like that the Queen of Cups is here because it does mean that we are weighing our head versus our heart within this situation. But either way, we're taking this situation quite seriously. We're using our best ability or our best sort of feminine intuition and intelligence to make this decision or to move forward within this situation to truly flourish. And then we have the Five of Wands. This may be representative of the situation, the activity, or the person, relationship, situation that we may need to speak on. Five of Wands can be about sparring, debate, political opinion, office politics. It's a fight that, and it doesn't have to be a fight. It can be sparring, right? It can be kind of, sometimes I call it the whole lot of fuckery card, right? It can be a bit annoying. Fives are transient. Both of these two queens are above this melee here, right? There may be a situation that we might want to roll our eyes at, that we're like, oh God, they're doing this again, or oh my God, I'm dealing with this again. But these two queens will find a way to cut through this. They may not even be involved in this fight. They could be sort of offering advice to other parties that are involved in this drama or situation that is ultimately sort of beneath us. But we don't have to sink to that level or get involved, if that makes sense, or allow it to take control. We can flourish and rise above it within our own truth, both emotionally and intellectually. And then the last card is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is Taurian energy, and I believe Venus just moved into Taurus, which is nice. Venus is how we love, or Venus is about to move into Taurus. I do know that. The Hierophant represents societal institutions, higher spiritual education. It can represent things like marriage, and that would be a societal institution. This truth is a truth that I believe, because the Hierophant is here, should be held by all. The Hierophant being associated with the sign of Taurus also means that this is going to be a very grounded decision that's made by us, a very deeply sort of spiritual decision, clarification, determination that we need to hold true to, even in the midst of the push-pull energy of the Five of Wands. Again, it may not be the popular opinion amongst that Five of Wands. We might get kickback or complaints, but here's the deal. These two queens in the Hierophant are not the complaint department. I don't want to say that they don't care, because the Queen of Cups definitely would care, and the Hierophant would lead with sort of spiritual intelligence as their guide, but they're not going to go against what they know to be right. The Hierophant is also a pillar card. So he is strength personified. He is higher knowledge. He is higher wisdom. So we are accessing our higher personal wisdom, maybe within a situation, our personal truth, both emotionally, intuitionally, and intellectually, and communicating that today to enable ourselves to flourish and hopefully others within the situation to flourish. If it takes them a day or two to realize what we've shared with them or where we're coming from, so be it. Allow them that time and space to adjust to whatever it is that we've shared with them or whatever it is that wherever it is that we're coming from. But with that focus stone underpinning this, that tells me that we need to hold tight to this truth. We need to be like the strength of this Hierophant, the pillar card that he represents. We need to understand what is true in our heart, in our spirit, and hold strong. Taurus can sometimes be a sign that is very steadfast, but it can also be a sign that seems to be perceived as stubborn. So to me, that is like a strength within this truth that we need to deliver this truth and not shift or worry or give in to, I don't know, the drama that is this Five of Wands that might come up. Fives are transitory. This too shall pass, right? So allowing others to come to their senses might be what we need to do, and we can do that from a place of love while we're being true to ourselves. It's not selfish to speak our own internal truth, whatever that may be. And I also have to say this, I like the connection of the crows being connected to both the 3D and 5D realm and understanding of law, because that very much connects to that Hierophant energy. Underneath this is the Eight of Pentacles. So this is a step or a decision, a truth that we need to live by or choose, communicate, or understand to be able to work forward in our world, in our 3D world, to make our 3D world better, to produce the desired results that we need so that we can flourish. But we can do that from a space of love, honesty, and spiritual, like, sort of resilience. Here is the grounding stone for the day. So it's friends. We might be experiencing situations with our friendships, our relationships through this. Why is friends not wanting to stand? Friends is not wanting to stand for me today. Come on, friends. There we go. It's probably going to fall over. This Five of Wands could be our relationships. Our friends are, I'm going to say this, we may be dealing with our relationships, our close relationships and friendships, truths around them that we need to sort of adjust or speak to. Ultimately, we do so from a place of love and compassion, but how do I want to say this? Our friends are also the truth that we understand, the compassion and the intuition that we have, the spiritual resilience that the Hierophant would represent. Those truths are also just as much our friends as our outside relationships. So if we're fearful, I don't get any sense of fear here, but if our friendships or our relationships, maybe coworkers or whatever, it might be this Five of Wands that are offering up a little bit of annoying conflict, aren't necessarily signing on to our truth right now, that's okay. Allow them to adjust or come to that understanding. Remain true to yourself and understand that you have connections or deeper sort of relationships to the truths that lie within, and live by those truths from a place of love and compassion and deliver them in that same manner, maintaining that focus. That will allow you to not only flourish, but also hopefully the people we care about in our 3D world, they will come to the table or the realization of where we are coming from at some point. And it really is for the best of all involved, okay? I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates with you. I do get a feeling that with all of this Eight of Cups, Nine of Wands that we saw yesterday, there is something going on in our personal relationships this week that we are having to kind of stick to, hold fast to, potentially walk away from or step back from, but we're doing so from a place of truth, honesty, compassion, and in an effort to sort of maybe maintain the relationship. But the relationship may need to change from how it currently is. Does that make sense? I hope that does. If this resonates with any of you, please leave me a question or comment. I would greatly appreciate it. Please share the video out, like the video and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow to see how this energy changes. Have a wonderful day and take care. Bye-bye.